tonight on DC News Now at 9. Back home and safe tonight.
And during the Mass, I could hear explosions.
A local church group's trip to Israel.
It's been dry all week, but we'll let you know when rain showers will be most likely on your Saturday.
And a new program inspired by a Maryland teen's unsolved murder.
The fact that we'll potentially be able to help other families, for me, is a win in itself.
Why the victim's mother says it could help save lives.
Halloween is around the corner. We're helping you stretch your dollar. How to save as you prepare for the spooky holiday.
The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good Friday evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight for DC News Now at 9. I'm Tasmin Mahfouz.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Flanagan. We have a lot of news to get to tonight, but first, we begin with your all-important weekend forecast. Meteorologist Damon Matson in tonight for Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb.
Yeah, Damon, the sun that we've gotten all week goes away tomorrow, and we're going to deal with some rain.
Yeah, this is the last bit of dry, quiet weather we have here tonight across the DMV before, yes, we get that rainfall and things go unsettled for us weather-wise into the weekend. But check it out. Yeah, all is still quiet. A very clear sky, a few passing clouds back to the west, but that is about it on the satellite and radar picture over the DMV at this hour. But rainfall is looming on the horizon. That storm system that we've been talking about, it's making its gradual approach to the east here. Rainfall is now spreading into Ohio, and soon enough, once the night is over here, we'll see some of that rain by tomorrow morning. But that is the key thing here, folks. We're not going to see rain overnight. So if you are going to be out and about for any reason here tonight, you can keep the rain gear away at home if you would like, as we just see that increase in cloud cover. But if you're gearing up to start out your Saturday and about to head out the door tomorrow morning, well, then you'll need the rain gear as rain showers start to arrive, and we'll feel some of that cooler air already starting to work in with this storm system, with temperatures staying in the 50s as that rain begins to come down. So we are looking at a very soggy day tomorrow, but when could we expect a little bit of dry time mixed in with those showers, and how chilly does it stay throughout the weekend? We'll have a look at your full forecast coming up here in just a bit.
Damon, thank you. And continuing our coverage on the war between Israel and Hamas.
Yeah, the war now approaching the 1-week mark. Today, Israeli forces ordering more than 1 million people to evacuate from northern Gaza to southern Gaza.
And it comes as Israel threatens to launch a ground invasion. About half of the Gaza Strip is heading south, and Israel's defense forces are giving them 24 hours to flee.
As of tonight, more than 3,000 people have been killed on both sides. Meanwhile, the D.C. region remains on high alert after a former Hamas leader called on supporters to make today, Friday the 13th, a day of rage. Local police departments have been increasing security all around places of worship. And overnight Friday, security barriers went up around the U.S. Capitol building. We've been checking throughout the night with local law enforcement to see whether there have been any incidents. So far, there have been no reports of credible threats into our newsroom.
And tens of thousands rallied around the world today at D.C.'s Freedom Plaza. Hundreds showed up for a Stand with Israel rally. The event drew local leaders, including D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser and Maryland Governor Wes Moore.
It's been heartwarming, actually, to see and hear the support of our local community, of our, of our leaders, President Biden.
And downtown at Franklin Park, pro-Palestine protesters gathered there for a rally. It was organized by nearly a dozen pro-Palestine groups, including the Palestinian Youth Movement.
An end to the occupation and colonization of the land of Palestine. I mean, they're continuing to build settlements in the West Bank. This isn't something new. This has been happening for 75 years. And I think the media is bringing it to light now, but it has been happening, and we just want an end to it. And for the U.S. to also send aid to help the people of Gaza, for them to have electricity, for them to have basic human rights. They don't even look at us as humans.
And tonight we're getting a new perspective on faith and community. A group of more than 50 Virginians just arrived back from Israel, where they were on a church trip. Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Max Marcilla shares her story, how they safely got back to the States and what they learned from visiting the Holy Land.
It was a beautiful experience for Mass.
At Sacred Heart of Jesus Catholic Church in Winchester, Virginia, Father Bjorn Lundberg is reliving an unforgettable week. He and 56 others, including 7 family members, went to Israel to learn history, connect with their faith, and see things many of them have waited a lifetime to experience.
We were in Mass at the Garden of Gethsemane. It was a very spiritual experience. It was really amazing to be there.
And then chaos.
And during the Mass, I could hear explosions, and those turned out basically to be the Iron Dome working.
The sounds of hymns and prayers turned into the sound of intercepted missiles, the start of one of the most violent moments in the region.
I think if I didn't have a supernatural faith, I would have been more of a basket case.
As the group rushed back to where they were staying in Jerusalem, they observed from dozens of miles away the beginnings of war. Wayne and Cynthia White from Lake Frederick, Virginia, were part of the group.
The people in the street, there was traffic, honking of cars, not knowing what was going on, but the sense of urgency to get back to the hotel.
But as he was leaving a land where right now there is no shortage of heartbreak and violence, Father Lundberg says he felt the importance and the power of peace and of prayer.
We got home because people were praying for us. It was a sign of God's love to me.
A sign that people oceans away are thinking of those in harm's way. And now those prayers, first received by these Virginians in Israel, are now making their way back.
You really got to know them as people and not just as something far away on the television. And I just want people to understand that they need to pray for everybody.
In Winchester, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
Pretty powerful there. This war impacting so many people around the world and, of course, right here in the DMV. For more coverage on how people in our area are responding to the war, visit our website, dcnewsnow.com. We also have a list of ways to help relief efforts in Israel and Gaza.
And new tonight, as crime in the district continues to rise, D.C. council members are looking to get input from the community on crime prevention efforts. Councilmember Brooke Pinto held the first of several public safety walks today that happened in Ward 1. Our Daniel Hamburg walked alongside city leaders and concerned neighbors. And Daniel, what were the main issues brought up today?
Well, this means, of course, the access to illegal guns. Police say more of them are being used in robberies and carjackings. We walked today from 7th Street all the way to 14th and U. A lot of the discussion centering around late night crime.
Hi, I'm Brooke Pinto. Nice to meet you. Yes.
Councilmember Brooke Pinto, chair of the Committee on Judiciary and Public Safety, is talking directly with neighbors affected by crime.
I hope we're at an inflection point where it's going to start to get better. I think everybody across the city is feeling the increase in crime, both from petty crime to serious crime as well.
A 40% increase in violent crime compared to last year.
Because last time we did a walk in
this public safety walk in Ward 1 comes after Pinto introduced her Secure DC plan several weeks ago, aiming to cut down on crime.
I want to make sure that we're inviting the public, inviting stakeholders, inviting residents and my colleagues to participate in how to make sure that this legislation is as effective and strong as possible.
As Pinto walks through the U Street corridor, police outlining ways they're trying to cut down on robberies and using dogs along side streets to sniff out guns in cars, hoping to slow the grim statistic of more than 200 homicides this year.
A lot of us are working really hard to turn that around with things like getting the crime lab reaccredited, making sure we have police deployed in the right places across the city.
Pinto says her package of bill focuses on preventing crime, setting up training programs, and giving more resources for diversion programs.
And of course, also focusing on preventing more crime by holding violent offenders accountable. Pinto will be holding walks in all 8 wards over the next week. The next one will be Tuesday in Ward 2. In the newsroom, Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Daniel, thank you. A 17-year-old boy from Washington, D.C. has been arrested in connection to last week's mass shooting at Morgan State University. Now, police are not identifying the suspect because he's a minor. Authorities also have an arrest warrant out for 18-year-old Javon Williams. He's also from D.C. He's considered armed and dangerous. Neither suspect has ties to Morgan State University. Both will be charged with attempted murder.
And Bowie State University will return to class with enhanced security Monday after a double shooting on campus. Now, last week, 2 19-year-olds were injured at the school. Both are expected to survive. Classes were canceled all week to allow the community to cope. But starting this weekend, students will notice several changes, added patrols, including 24-hour security at campus entries, with license plate readers scanning all cars. Also, the guardhouse entry, that gate will close at 5 p.m. instead of 11 p.m. The university is considering other measures, including AI weapons detectors and metal detectors in dorms.
Tonight on Capitol Hill, Republicans have chosen Congressman Jim Jordan as their new nominee for House Speaker. The Trump-backed Republican from Ohio clinched a nomination with 124 votes. Yesterday, Majority Leader Steve Scalise abruptly ended his bid for Speaker when it became clear he would not have enough support to be elected. So now the question is whether Jordan will have enough votes to take the position. We'll hear from the congressman coming up in our next half hour.
And happening this weekend in the district, quite a few events are happening outside, if you don't mind the rain, that is. Snallygaster, D.C.'s biggest beer fest, taking place downtown tomorrow. You'll need a ticket to go. General admission is 2 to 6 p.m. The White House Fall Garden Tour, that's Saturday and Sunday. It's free, but you'll need time tickets. They're distributed each day starting at 8:30 in the morning. Now, if you prefer inside, you could try out the Fall Car Show at the National Museum of the Marine Corps. It's happening Sunday at the museum in Triangle, Virginia. It's free to get in, and also DC Theater Week is running now through Sunday. You can get discounted tickets by going to todaytix.com. And just as a reminder, organizers of the Adams Morgan Porch Fest are postponing Saturday's event because of the rain. Now, in the forecast, it's now taking place Saturday, November 4th. You'll want to definitely be there. A portion of 18th Street will be closed to traffic as more than 100 bands play live music on porches, patios, and parks, all for free. So, of course, we got to ask our meteorologist, Dan Matson, how the weather will be.
This is one of those times I feel like that got canceled. Those weather people, what are we doing?
Got to work your magic.
I know. Try to keep the rain at bay a little bit if you do want to be out and about. And, yeah, we'll check out, hopefully, some of that dry time that we'll have coming up here shortly.